Joining us now is Michelle, and we are going to be discussing real estate. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well.
So we are both moms, but I just found out that you are now a grandma.
I am.
How did that change your life? Was that like life-changing for you?
It is. It's you hear about it from other people, like, oh, when you become a grandparent, it's wild because you love your children so much, and it's your child's child. So it's like double, quadruple, a million times the love that you feel for your own kids, which you don't even think is possible.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know that you started in real estate because you had 4 kids, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that journey and why you decided to go into real estate.
So when my children were young, we live on Long Island, it's very hard to live here. So my husband worked 2, 3 jobs because since we've been together since high school. So we had the same goal of a family, having kids. I was going to stay home and raise the kids. Again, living on Long Island, it's not so easy to just live off of one salary. So he worked, 2 and 3 jobs, and I stayed home. And then you realize when all of your kids are going to school, like, who am I? What am I? I'm a mom. That's it, right? I change diapers, I make food, I put them to bed, I make sure they're clean. But what happens when they're all out of the house?
Okay.
So when my youngest was going off to kindergarten, I was having a conversation with my cousin, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm an all-in type person. So when my kids were home, I was all in, and now I'm not going to clean my house 24/7. I'm not going to, it's just not who I am. So she said, Michelle, since we've been younger, you've always been interested in real estate. And I said, well, how am I going to do that? I have 4 kids that I take care of 24/7. How am I going to school and going to be home? And I said, you know what? I just have to do it.
Okay.
So I went to school, I got my license, and the rest was kind of history.
And if you do it little by little like that, it all just comes together. And with real estate, it's a lot of common sense. If you live in a house, to a degree,
Yes,
right?
no, it is. It's a lot of common sense.
And it's also it's psychology, right?
Totally.
Because you have to kind of understand the mindset of either the buyer or the seller. You kind of have to, in a way, counsel them or help them.
I'm a therapist.
Yes. Right?
No doubt.
Okay.
I'm a therapist. Yes.
So your approach to it is in a matchmaking style, which I thought was clever. So you sit down with them, you get to know them as people, and then you show them a home.
Yes. I think what for me, what helps with my success is that I feel like I understand people more almost or just as much as I understand real estate. The buying, the selling, the ins and outs of everything that goes on throughout it. But if you understand a person and what their goals are and about their family, it makes it easier to kind of put it all together. And sometimes it happens instantly, and sometimes it takes 5 years because things change, people change, their needs, their wants, everything, their finances. Things change.
They're upsizing, they're downsizing.
Exactly.
They have kids, they don't have
Exactly.
the kids. Yeah.
Exactly.
It is a lot that goes into that. It's an emotional buy as well as a
Totally.
financial buy.
Yep.
I think you're right. It might be like 50-50.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever decided that there was a client you just kind of wanted to fire? Like, you know what? You're just not for me, but my friend might be able to help you.
I have felt that way.
Okay.
But I'm not a quitter.
Okay.
And, there's different personalities everywhere. And if you are not versatile in how you approach people and you can handle people, we're all not cookie cutter.
Right.
Not every house is the same, not every person, not every couple. Sometimes you're dealing with 2 couples where the one person they want this and the other person wants that. And I've actually said to them at one point, this is between you, because you're both asking me for 2 totally different things. Unless we're buying 2 separate houses, this is a you thing. You guys need to go home.
A Victorian and a Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah.
Right? And you're
exactly.
like, okay,
exactly.
well, I don't know if that combo fits, right?
Exactly.
Okay. There are things that you could add to a home, but you're right. The structure between an open concept home versus, rooms that are divided,
Yeah.
all those little things. Maybe there's an intake sheet that people could fill out ahead of time. Do you want suburban? Do you want city? Do you want
And it'll
3
change.
bedrooms?
We'll probably, every
Right.
week, we'll probably have to redo it as we're out there looking at things. But that's, that's the
It's
fun
part
of
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
I know that your husband was in the military.
Yep.
You said you met when you were really young. What a beautiful journey. So
Yeah.
you've been able to have this home and
Yep.
put these kids together, and they've
Yep.
grown, and you're flourishing.
Yeah.
What do you love best about what it is that you do as a real estate agent? Professional, I should say.
I love watching my clients after.
Okay.
I am very diligent about keeping my relationships with my clients. So, for instance, every Christmas since I started, every one of my buyers who have purchased a home from me get a delivery between like the week after Thanksgiving, and they get a poinsettia and a card. And it depends. If they bought the house that year, they get an ornament with, your first holiday in your home. If they had a baby that year, they get a baby ornament. If they got married that year, they get a first year as Mr. and Mrs. So, like this year, I found out about probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 of my couples that are now expecting. And the fact that they even reach out to me to tell me that's happening, those are the things that excite me. Is it
Yeah.
fun to, sit at the closing table and, see it all come together? Yes, but it's the after that makes it even more special to me. And they follow my life. They've watched, my son commission, and my other son, goes to Maryland, and my daughter is a volleyball player, and I have one graduating, and they know all of this. And my kids will see somebody out, because I'm very big on like sharing my life. The good, the bad, whatever. And my kids will be out and they'll say, "Oh, congratulations on blah, blah, blah." And they'll say, "You're on my mom's social media?" My mom. And I'm like, "Well, this is who I am."
So
Like,
you are.
it's who
Exactly.
I am.
I know my kids sometimes tell me which things I can post down, which things I can't.
Well, it's a joke in my family.
Yeah.
If something happens, they're like, "Oh, expect the post." I'm
Right.
like, appreciate me a little bit more, please.
Yeah, because you're proud of them.
So proud.
It's so proud. I'm proud of my kids too. Happy journeys to you. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you have that tradition of what you do for all of them. And around here too, we have new babies being born like almost momentarily.
I love it.
So it makes my heart so happy too.
Me too.
Continued joy to you.
Thank
There you go. If you're looking for a real estate person, a professional, maybe check out Michelle. Even if you're not in this state, just call her for advice, because she seems like she's got it right on point. Be well.